Hi, my name's Richard Bartlett, and we're going to be talking on the next one about short videos, and we're going to talk a little bit about AI. And there's a lot of misconception about AI and how it works in trade. Obviously, this is somebody who's built AI within one of a couple of their modules. We've been working on a project for the last 4 years. We built the simplified customs and supply chain diagnostics. We built that, and we added AI into that to make it better with the data. And we've also built the intelligence hub, which will be released in early part of this year, in 2026. We have some of the data in there that'll work, and there's some that we're still working on. But I want to just talk about AI and how it works within a business. And there's a lot of, like I say, a lot of worries about, oh, AI is going to do this, that, and the other. And AI really is a tool that creates data. That's what it does. It creates data, and it's how you kind of create that data to make it work. So it doesn't replace people. It just gives you better decisions, I believe. I can't talk 100 miles an hour. I can talk only as much as I can talk where you can listen to me. What AI is doing in the background is it's doing lots and lots and lots of, data, and it's combining it, condensing it, and releasing it in a format that is readable or you can use to your benefits. Um, Again, for some reason, we always struggle on the page. Um, a lot of people think it's treated as a shortcut, and just be very careful with AI. You've got to, in my experience of building, I can actually write programs in AI. I can understand, um, program writing and coding. I can use coding like JavaScript and CSVs and all sorts, JPron and everything like that. That creates. I've been working on this project for a long time. I started in 2020 with a company, Customs Clearance, in California, who were one of the first people to really bring customs in. And I like what they've tried to create. They haven't created to say you can use AI and it works full and it does everything. What they've tried to do is automate it within the system so the data flows a lot better. So it makes the flow a lot easier and a lot easier to use. And also with that, backing it up with clear platforms that you can use and read and look at everything on there. So, you know, again, just be careful when you read a lot of things about AI and everything else. I see lots of stories saying, well, AI can't do this and it can't do that. AI can do whatever you want it to do, but you have to teach it. So I've been in the process for the last few years of teaching AI. I know it sounds bizarre as it sounds, but it starts to understand what you want. So I know how it works and how what I want from it, and it helps me fundamentally. It saves me time. There's only me as expert on lots. There's only two hands, one brain. But what it does, it helps and supports me with a lot of things. It doesn't give me any answers. It just helps me create something that I can then use my mind to create the information that's required. So again, be careful with the adoption. The adoption works only with knowledge. So it's very important to understand. When we built the customs and diagnostics supply chain, a lot of work went into that, a lot of work of the understanding, checking, testing, and everything else. And just give you an idea of the intelligence hub, there's a huge amount of work that's gone into that just to check, make sure it's working, it's understanding what we're trying to tell it. But the data's out there, data is available around the world. It's not nothing new. It's just how you adopt that and bring it in and use that data to give customers, exporters, importers, customs people, freight forwarders, the ability to use that data and use it to the best of the ability. So it certainly doesn't, there's a lot of misplaced expectations. And you've got to check it. AI does what it does, but again, it's a machine, it's learning. You've got to learn, you've got to understand what you're checking. So in this sector, we're seeing huge changes in 2025, 2026, 2027. Yes, we'll see huge amounts of changes, but what them changes should do, if it's worked correctly and AI is implemented correctly, it should really enhance and make decisions for you a lot easier. So you can make them quick, rapid decisions where you're wasting. And I'll give you an example on that. When I built the customs and diagnostics, I wanted a platform that worked. It didn't need AI fit. We just introduced AI to make it the data flow a lot better and give much better results in what it performs for you. So the data looks a lot cleaner rather than somebody actually typing it out and writing it out. So you imagine if you've got hundreds of people using the system, it just saves you time on that. You still got to check it. Second part is when we built, I came up with an idea of how to build data with intelligence. where it give a company the opportunity to look at the data, what works for them, what markets is good for them, and give you that clear information. And within that, I've built obviously lots of things around that. So it gives you a presentation, etc. So that's where AI really works, I think. It's not there to replace anybody or human beings. It's there to enhance. Yes, in certain things it will replace. If somebody's all they're doing all day is getting data and data, well, obviously AI, that's what it does. It brings in that data, it understands the data, but then you have to make sure that data works in the benefit of how you want it to work. Data defense AI systems are only reliable as the information, like I've said. So it's very important that people understand this. I've heard lots of people talk about commodity cores and everything else. Commodity cores, yes, they're built in there, but you've got to understand what you should be looking at and what you should be reaching out. You should be able to put a description in there. It should be able to give you at least in the trade tabs should give you at least the sections and the chapters, and then you can work on that. The other thing it can do is CPC codes. It doesn't understand CPC codes, customs procedure codes. It struggles with that information. Again, only with somebody who knows that information can put the CPC and start to teach it and learn it. Again, AI cannot access legal responsibility. So remember, if you're using AI and you're using it and you're using companies who use it, they have a legal responsibility. You got to make sure that you're not just relying on AI. I'm seeing it all the time. We must have invented about 1,000 trade specialists all of a sudden on LinkedIn and other things, and literally they're just using AI, scaring people with AI. It's not there to scare you. AI is there to support you. It remains your burden. So remember, if it's wrong, HMRC don't care. They'll come back to you. So again, when you're using AI or using companies that are using AI, make sure you check and make sure you understand their compliance area. I know, obviously, the company I work with in the US as an advisor, they've spent lots and lots of money to make sure the compliance is spot on. You have to understand that compliance AI. It's a tool that has to work together from a compliance side. The data has to work, everything has to work together. So it's very important to understand that. Again, it creates false confidence at a scale because, I've seen it. People just put on the, oh, do you know that if you had an audit, this would happen? They've probably never ever done an audit in a premises. They've probably never been into a company that I've been, hundreds of companies I've been into to look at where they're at, what they're doing, how then you can make that work better. So again, be careful when you listen to all AI. It doesn't always it's there. It works superbly when you know how to work it. That's the key. But it takes months and months. And the reason I started to build and program is because when you're trying to explain to somebody about a program what you want, they don't understand trade. They don't understand the complexity of trade, customs, documentation, exporting, importing, valuations, CDS. They don't. If you're not in that field, how can you understand it? So again, that's why I did and started to build it myself. So I know a lot of things I've done is robust because it works and works very well. Again, it was just to give you really an idea that use AI. It's a great tool. It works fantastically for you. But be careful with AI. And again, be careful what people promise you with AI. AI works very well with the right people who are actually building it and making it work. Again, if you are using a lot of AI, then check, it's a machine. It can only learn what you tell it. If it doesn't learn from you, it's only going to give you a probability of an answer. It'll give you the answer, it'll give you a probability. It won't give you, might not necessarily be correct. This is where the skills come in. So again, use it. It's a great tool to use and it's a wonderful thing to really see how AI can really work, especially in data information, looking at markets, looking how you can expand. There's some great opportunities out there. And again, that's where I really think the data really works. When people say, yeah, but then it replaces some, no, it doesn't replace anybody. If you know that there's a market there in Spain and it's telling you all the information, telling that there's a big market there for you to go into, you've done the hard work. Then go and speak to the specialist in that market who will then support you because you know that market's ready for you. So you get the specialist then who will help you and support you on the ground, who'll do, either as a distributor or an agent who'll help you. It's not that AI doesn't replace that. It helps you find them decisions quickly, where you spend months and months trying to create data, which we all know you can spend ages. So that's the end. I've timed myself for 10 minutes. I've put like a timer on this, so because obviously I'll go on and on and on forever. Hope you've enjoyed that. But again, AI is there, it's here for a long time. Look at how it works, work with the companies who are robust, who have been in this game a long time, and look at the compliance side of it. Again, don't be frightened of it. It's there to support you. And we'll see some massive shift in 2026, 2027. We'll really start to see information coming through, which will be quite exciting for you, and it'll help your business grow. That's the key to everything. So don't ever be concerned with that. It's there to support you. It's not there as an enemy. Don't look at it as an enemy. So thanks. Hopefully you'll join our next model. We're going to have about 10 or 12 sat in YouTube. Have a look at it, see what you think, and hopefully we'll see you soon. And thanks very much for joining us.